So Joe Biden last night, the headline was that Mr. Biden says there'll be 600 million doses of vaccine available by July. That's twice the population. Good. We need it, obviously. He also said when he took office, there was no vaccination available, no vaccine available. That's not true. Mr. Biden himself was vaccinated before the election. I don't know why he said that. Joe Biden, the president, has a tendency to ramble. And I thought of the song by the Allman Brothers, Lord, I was born a rambling man, trying to make a living and doing the best I can. So, because his demeanor was fine. All right, President Biden was fine last night. He came across empathetic, friendly, appropriate when he was talking to the civilians, asking questions. It was a very soft venue. He wasn't challenged. No follow-ups. He could say what he wanted, but he's such a ramble, and I'm going, Allman Brothers would love this. All right, I got 3 sound bites for you, and they're not really important, but I got to run something, right? In case you didn't see it. I don't have the ratings yet. I'll have them for you tomorrow. All right, the first sound bite was pretty surprising to me. Go.
The nation is not divided. You go out there and take a look and talk to people. You have fringes on both ends, but it's not nearly as divided as we make it out to be. And we have to bring it together.
Well, he must be living in a magical place because the United States is as divided as it has been since the Civil War. It's more divided now than in the Vietnam era. And that's because the progressive secularists have gained a lot of power. And Mr. Biden is in that crew. And they want to fundamentally change everything in America. Everything. We are a bad country, a racist country. We got to wipe everything out, okay, including George Washington, Abe Lincoln, everybody else. And, traditional conservative Americans aren't going to put up with that. So Joe Biden says the nation is not divided. This worries me. Okay, soundbite number 2. This man who asked the question is named Danny Evans. He is a pastor in Milwaukee. Go.
Defund the police is discussed as an option for reforming policing. However, there are communities where people live in fear, not of the police, but in fear of the violent gangs who commit crimes in those neighborhoods. How can we be sure that we don't over-legislate police officers so that they can't do their job to protect the law-abiding citizens who live in these high-crime neighborhoods, and yet train officers to police with compassion?
By number 1, not defunding the police. We have to put more money in police work. So we have legitimate community policing, and we're in a situation where we change the legislation. No one should go to jail for a drug offense. No one should go to jail for the use of a drug. They should go to drug rehabilitation. Every kid walking across the street wearing a hoodie is not a member of a gang and is about to knock somebody off. So it's about education.
Okay, so drug users shouldn't go to jail, but drug pushers should. The epidemic of opiates is killing thousands of people, tens of thousands of people in America and around the world. The Mexican drug cartels are undermining our national security. And Joe Biden really has no clue on how to deal with that. Rehabilitation, most addicts don't want it. I mean, ask any substance abuse counselor. They don't want it. So what are you going to do? All right? You've got to have rules, public safety rules. The second thing is education. Stop with the education. All right, they spend almost $30,000 per student a year here in New York. $30,000. The Catholic schools spend $10,000, and the Catholic schools have higher scores than the public school $30,000 kids. Education is basically discipline and competency, holding the kids accountable for their behavior. That is not done in the nation's public schools, and Joe Biden is not going to change that. So to say all of this drug gang and murders and all that's education-based is just a myth. Final soundbite, and this is the most controversial thing said all night. Go.
That is the greatest threat to terror in America, domestic terror. And so I would make sure that my Justice Department and the Civil Rights Division is focused heavily on those very folks. And I would make sure that we, in fact, focus on how to deal with the rise of white supremacy.
And I just tweeted out, where's the rise in white supremacy? And then I got attacked, viciously attacked, by the far left kooks and charlatans and liars who want you to believe, and apparently Joe Biden does, that this nation is just white supremacist. We're all over the place. So tomorrow on this broadcast, we're researching it now. We'll tell you exactly how many white supremacists have been arrested and charged in the last 2 years. Exactly how many. See, I know thousands of people. I go all over the nation. I don't know any white supremacists. I don't know. Maybe they're in the basement. You know, there's vile stuff on the internet. Yes, the Proud Boys, a few hundred of them. The FBI is all over them, and they should be. Proud Boys aren't doing this country any good. But Antifa, Black Lives Matter, global organization, way more destructive. Unless it's something I don't know. We're looking into it. We're trying to find out. Look, I don't want white supremacist groups, the Klan, the Nazis. I don't want them running around hurting people in any way. And they should be held to account. They should be. And I know the FBI is investigating them, and there's nothing wrong with that. But don't give me all of this. And then you'll remember that Joe Biden said Antifa, quote, is an idea, not an organization. I mean, he said that on September 29th, 2020. And then later on in the campaign, when he took a lot of heat for that, he said, yeah, I condemn Antifa and violence no matter who it is. You know, hedging off. Never a Black Lives Matter condemnation of the Marxist group. He said individual Black Lives Matter people doing violence are wrong. But it's all about white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy. Did you miss Portland, Oregon? Did you miss Seattle? Did you miss Minneapolis? Look, just this week in New York City, 100 Black Lives Matter protesters went out and beat the hell out of a newspaper photographer because they thought he was a cop. I mean, come on. I mean, the equivalency isn't even close, and we'll prove it tomorrow with the criminal justice stats. Well, Joe Biden is going to be president, and we may be in for some economic uncertainty. That's why now more than ever, I recommend you diversify with gold and silver. The only company I recommend is American Hartford Gold. So please call them right now and tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $1,500 of free silver on your first order. Now, since I've been recommending American Hartford Gold, gold itself up over 40%, silver up over 60%. So don't wait. Call 866-501-5201. That's 866-501-5201, or text BILL to 65532. Bill O'Reilly here. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure you subscribe to the First TV YouTube page. Just hit the big red subscribe button below, and you'll get clips and highlights of my program, The No Spin News, every single day. We'll see you soon.